Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Childcare Genius Marketing. Let Childcare Genius Marketing help you get fully enrolled and fully staffed. Visit childcaregenius.com for more details. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Dupre.
Welcome to episode 94, Childcare Genius Podcast.
We're your hosts, Brian and Carol Dupre.
Hello, hello. Hope everybody's having an amazing day today. We're near the end of May. June is almost here. Summer is getting there. Hope everybody's getting out and enjoying a beautiful spring. Hope it's a nice weather where you're located at. We've got a nice episode today with a good friend of ours. Her and her husband are really good friends of ours. They live in Louisiana. And they're going to be talking today about her school, recent expansion she just had, and probably a little bit about real estate because we have been helping her on that front as well. As you know, we have a large real estate portfolio. We teach that to our students. We teach real estate acquisitions, and she's been busy lately. So probably going to sneak a little bit in the interview about that. But before we get started, I want to let you know that the tickets are going to be closing for our Leverage Conference in Jamaica. We're just about sold out, so they should be done this week. The last tickets are being sold right now, so if you have not got your tickets yet, this is your last chance. So it would probably be sometime this week we'll be selling out in the next day or two. Go to childcaregenius.com just childcaregenius.com and click on the conference tab. Click under leverage, and it's your last chance to get tickets before we are sold out. And we would love to see you in Jamaica. Yeah, man. Great trip, good time. And it's probably the #1 rated conference for childcare in the world because everybody loves our format. You know, done at 1 o'clock every day. You're in the pool with coaches and hanging out and having fun. A lot of good content. All right. So again, I guess this is Nancy Morrison. And she's got the little school in near Slidell, Louisiana, and she's a fantastic lady.
Yes, she's wonderful.
So let's get Nancy on the line.
Hi, Nancy. Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Carol. Hey, Brian. How you doing?
Hi, Nancy. So good to see you. It's been a whole couple weeks since we've seen you in Las Vegas.
Yes.
At our conference. Did you have fun there?
Oh, yes. It was really, really nice. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a really, really good time. I loved it. Had a good time. You got out of there. You didn't get in trouble. So that's a good thing, right?
That's right. Didn't get any trouble.
Yeah. You don't want to go on vacation and leave on probation. That would be a bad thing.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay. So I wanted to have you on. I've been coaching you for over a year, and we've become good friends and even went on vacation together. And we were talking about that in our intro that there might be a YouTube video floating around of all of us at a silent headphone party dancing and doing some crazy stuff in Jamaica. But other than that, you guys are great friends of ours. We love working with you. And I say, you know what? She's got a nice whole story. And somebody's going to be somebody out there that's going to listen and listen. Hey, they're in Louisiana, or they did this, and I could do that too. So we're looking to share your story and help somebody who resonates with somebody out there. So thank you for taking the time to come on here. So tell us a little bit about your background and what your life was like before you started in the childcare business.
Okay. Well, mine's a little different. Actually, I did do childcare when I was in high school. My senior year in high school, I was going to a doctor's appointment and went past a childcare center, just walked in and got a job. So I worked there through my high school year, and then I graduated and went on to college. I followed my brother. He was going to school for electrical engineering. I'm like, I can do that too. So I followed him into that. That was a really long time ago. I ended up graduating with my electrical engineering degree. I was the only female graduating. So
Wow.
that was before women did any of that.
Yeah, you're real
So it was pretty
trailblazer.
cool. So then I graduated from there. Yeah. So I graduated and then I worked on some top secret jobs for the government. And then Earl and I were trying to have kids and we were going to adopt. So one of the things they were big on is that, well, if you stay home, you know, they have a better chance of getting placed. So I'm like, okay. So I quit working. That didn't last long. That lasted just like 2-3 months maybe. I'm like, okay, I can't stay home. So there was a center right down the street from my house that was open. So I walked in there and asked them, hey, do y'all need any help? And they're like, yeah, come on in, you know. So I started working there. And so it worked out really well. We ended up adopting kids. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but we have 6 kids. So, and all of ours are adopted. So that worked out in our favor too. But the lady that I worked with at the center wanted to retire. So she approached us one day and said, look, I'm going to retire. Do you want to buy it? So that's how we got into working in owning a childcare center.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Carol and I both had top secret jobs in the military too, so I
Yeah.
didn't realize we had that in common. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Tell
Earl
someone
always
about
asks
it,
me.
but then we'd have to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing I always tell him. He's always like, you're going to have to tell me one day. I'm like, no, I'll have to kill you if I tell you. And so he always jokes around like he tries to listen to me when I talk in my sleep. I'm like, nope, it ain't coming out.
Oh Lord.
Tell our audience about your childcare centers and why you're different from other centers in your area.
Oh, okay. So we're a 5-star rated center with quality start for Louisiana. So, and we were the first one in our area to actually get one for a long time. And then one of the things about that sets us apart is like my staff has been with me for years. Most of them have been with me for 5 years, and I have some of them that's been with me over 15. So right now we're going through the funny cycle of the kids who used to come to us are now bringing their kids in, and it's funny to see them walk in because they're like, it's the same director, it's the same teachers. They're like, oh my goodness, everybody's still here. So it's really kind of cool that, you know, they're coming back and they like seeing that we're all still there. So it's really neat.
That's pretty cool. That
It is.
longevity. It's hard. It's hard to see that today. You
it's
don't see that in
rare.
childcare too
Yeah.
often. We have a lot of turnover, so that speaks volumes of your leadership. So good job there. What are some obstacles you face when trying to open your school?
Well, first off was getting financing. When I tried to get financing for my center, the banks didn't, this is back away too. The banks really didn't want to finance childcare centers. They were worried that if they had to foreclose on it, they didn't want the reputation of closing on a childcare center. So they really didn't want to get involved. So I had to go to my dad to get help. So my dad went to his investors and had them come out and help me get into it. So that's how I got into it. But it was like, I got into this not knowing, I never ran a business before. So I had no business knowledge. I worked in a center back when I was in high school, which I don't even think they had regulations back then. So I knew nothing about regulations. I knew nothing about licensing. I just went in here and did it by the seat of my pants. So I learned the hard way of everything.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people learn the school of hard knocks, right?
For
Yes,
sure.
yes.
How has coaching helped you grow your business?
Well, that's like the best question ever. So coaching has been phenomenal for me. It has changed my life. When a couple of years ago, I was thinking that I was going to retire. So that was my goal. And I got into coaching to help me set up some processes so my daughter could take over and that she wouldn't run by the seat of her pants, but that it would be easier for her. And I don't even know if you know this, Brian, but years ago, when you were with another company, I had gone to go into coaching there, and I talked to you. You were the guy who interviewed me before the coaching, and I didn't get into the coaching at that point, but you had always sat in my mind, like I really like that guy. That guy, he was really, because you had told me something at that point. I don't know what I was telling you, but I told you something that I was working on, and then you said, "Well, you work for minimum wage." And I said, no, I don't.
You're driving a bus
and you
or
said,
cooking
sure
a
you
meal
do.
or
And I'm like,
something, right?
I don't know what it was I was doing. I think I was making copies. And to be honest, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I don't pay myself minimum wage. And you said, you sure you do, because you could pay someone minimum wage to do that job that you're doing right now. And that just stuck with me forever. So then I decided a couple of years later, I was like, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to that coaching thing. So I went there, and then you were gone. I was like, he's not even here anymore. So then I started following you on Facebook. I stalked you. So anyway, then I found out you were opening this one. I came to this
You were
one.
one of those creepers.
Yeah, I was one of those creepers. So anyway, that's how I got into it. But it's been phenomenal. It changed everything, how I do things. I'm not going to retire now. I figured that I don't need to do that. I can still keep my business and let it run as long as I have the processes in shape. And it's also changed that I'm increasing my capacity. I'm going to increase it by 50%. So it's going to grow 50% bigger instead of me retiring. And I'm going to get into the real estate part of it. So it's changed a lot of it.
I'm going to ask you some questions on the real estate side in a minute. So, where do you see yourself 3 years from now? Like, what are some of your long-term goals?
That's a great question. So in 3 years, I hope, I don't want to say I hope, I will have a financial legacy set up for my family, and I will have passive income coming in. So that's my goal in 3 years. And anything beyond that for long term is that I want my family to have better financial knowledge than I did and to continue on with the legacy.
That is amazing.
Yes.
I love that. The
Me
stuff we
too.
preach, and boy, you soaked it right up, and I love hearing that because we have the same strategy. So
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
And you attended our leverage conference in Jamaica last year
Yes.
and our CCG Live conference in Las Vegas this year.
Yes.
What'd you get out of each conference?
So Jamaica was the best. Poolside coaching is phenomenal. I know we all keep talking about it, but until they experience it, it's one of those things like until you experience it, you're not going to understand it. But it's a really good thing of in a comfortable sitting around talking to each other, bouncing off ideas from each other, from what you've learned and other people's experiences, and just getting a closer bond with everybody. Because when you're in a conference, it's a lot of go and go, go. But when you get to the poolside part of everybody just kind of calming down and getting some questions answered and just having a good time. The best was watching Kim win the pool race that they said she didn't win, but she won. I always say she won, but that was a cool thing.
Kim is
That guy cheated.
Yeah.
But,
She
but from Jamaica, I took off.
We gave her a gold medal.
Yes. So, but from Jamaica, actually, I took off the getting it more into the real estate part of it. That's where I really kind of, and then when we met with you guys on that vacation one time, and I got to talk to Earl, kind of got him on the bandwagon with me. So that's where we're going to get into more of the real estate part. And then the Las Vegas one was phenomenal because I got to bring my staff with me. So, and that got them to get excited and motivated to take things on their own, to trust in themselves, to have the knowledge that they can do this without always coming to me with every little thing.
Ah, well, way to go. Yeah, that's the full package. You got the real estate, you got the knowledge, and you get your team going. So what a great year you've had. First year of coaching, you did so much and accomplished so much. You saw your revenues go up, profitability go up, everything changed, and you changed your whole trajectory of your kid, not only the rest of your life, you changed the trajectory of your grandkids' lives. That's the cool part. It's like there's now your whole generational legacy is different because we've met, and that we don't take that lightly. That that unless it's an emotional response from me, that always brings tears to my eyes when I see that we've changed people's lives. So thank you for sharing that. So in our coaching program, we teach students how to diversify into real estate, which significantly lowers your tax burden. It builds generational wealth. How has our teaching helped you?
So it's been really, really good. I really didn't know a whole lot about the real estate part of it and trying to get the tax part because the taxes have been crazy for us. It's just sickening when you go to write that check at the end of the year of how much you owe. So when you went over the taking care of the tax burdens of that, that's where it's like, oh my goodness, we're doing this. And it's really kind of upsetting to know that I didn't know this all this time. So it's that typical what you don't know, really hurts you. So now I've changed all of that. I'm on the path of taking care of my tax burdens. I'm changing my accountant because my accountant didn't advise me on any of this. I tried going to her a couple of times and that didn't work. But so I'm changing that. And then now I'm getting to the real estate. I told you early this week, I put in 2 offers for 2 different buildings and both of them got accepted this week. So now I'm going to go into doing the commercial part of doing some fourplexes.
So Nancy is one of our dynasty level clients. So I coach Nancy personally, and we looked at these deals with her. We checked numbers out. We made sure they made sense. They did good. She did it herself. She put the offers in, got them accepted, worked through the negotiation. You did great. We helped you a little bit on the negotiation side. And you got 2 deals. So you're going to have 2 4-unit apartment buildings. So you have 8 units under management when you get this thing going. And the cool thing is you're going to be able to accelerate some of that depreciation in year one. You're going to be able to take a lot off. You're going to save a lot of money in taxes. You're going to save passive income loss from taxes, and you're going to get a lot of depreciation for the next, a lot of years as well. So, and you're going to be able to create a legacy of passive income that you pass on to your kids. If you do it right, it's tax free to your children.
Yes.
So if you do it the way we teach it, it's tax free to your children. So what other ways can you pass money on tax free? It's just amazing, and it diversifies you.
Yes.
Your daycare income is not your sole source of income now. So I mean, you never know what could happen with the government. The government could do what Canada does, and really restrict you, or be in some other countries like taking over the child care.
Yeah.
So you always want to keep, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Have other businesses, and real estate is a good hedge. So nicely done. Very proud of you guys.
Thanks.
If you had it to do all over again, what would you do differently?
That's an excellent question. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely put a lot more effort and time into finding a coach. Coaching changes everything. It's just, I can't imagine, I've done well in life, but I can't imagine how much better I would have done if I had a coach earlier. I look at these people that in the meetings now that are young, and I'm like, oh my God, if I could have had that if I could have had that at that age, where my life would be at, it would be totally different. So
no kidding.
It's just amazing just having the knowledge and the experience of other people, and then camaraderie of the group when you're in the meetings and you meet other people and you have somebody to talk to, because when you're an owner, you're a boat all by yourself out in the ocean. Whereas when you're in a group, and you're going through something that you don't know what to do and your staff doesn't know how to handle it, you can come in here and you find out you're not the only one out there, that there's other things, that people are going through.
Sure. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, if you can go back to be 25 again, would you do it? I thought for a minute. I said, I would do it, but only one condition. If I could take my 57-year-old brain with me.
Yeah. Really.
If I could take this brain back to 25, by the time I got back to 57, I'd be a billionaire.
Yep.
So that if you're young, your 20s, your 30s, and you're a childcare owner, you're multiple schools, you are so far ahead of where I am today. By the time you get to me, you could be writing the book Childcare Billionaire and be worth tens of millions of dollars if you do it right. With some of the stuff that we teach, you have the power of time. The thing with investing is time. And with real estate, time is on your side. You got to pay off a mortgage. You got to build passive income. You got to let build over time. But it takes time. The older you start, the later you start. We didn't start real estate until late 40s. Carol's close to 50 when we started buying real estate. And in 10 years, we've put together an impressive portfolio, mind you. But imagine if I would have listened to Carol 10 years sooner and bought real estate. She kept telling me, we need to buy. I'm like, too risky, too risky, too risky. So she's the smart one. I was the lead one. So guys, if your wife's trying to talk you into buying something, you might want to listen to her, because if I did, I'd be much better off than I am today. Well, thank you, Nancy, for coming on the Childcare Genius podcast today. Your words of wisdom probably resonated with a lot of people out there. We look forward to seeing you in Jamaica in a couple months. And just want to thank you for just taking your time in your busy life. Say hi to your husband, Earl, for us, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. You have a good weekend.
Bye-bye. It's a good one. Good interview.
Very good interview.
Private joke for that. Boy, we have fun, don't we?
Yeah, we do. It was fun just hanging out with them in Jamaica one time. It was just us and them.
Yeah. So we had gone to Jamaica and they heard we were going. They're like, we tag along. I was like, absolutely. So we were at Sandals Duns River for a whole week with them, and we had a ball.
We did.
And just might be a few videos floating around YouTube with all of us four dancing, doing some crazy stuff at a silent headphone party, I believe. But it was a good time. They're a really, really great couple. And they will be in our Jamaica conference. So if you want to meet Nancy or any of our podcast guests, they're all going to be there as well. So if we can help you in your childcare business, please feel free to reach out. Brian@childcaregenius.com is my email. Be happy to answer any question. Or you can schedule a free coaching call with one of our coaches by going to childcaregenius.com under the coaching tab, select that like a free coaching call. And this is for center owners only. So this concludes episode 94 of the Childcare Genius podcast. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy life to spend a little time with us.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Childcare Genius podcast. See you next week.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.